My name is Ryan Mays, and I've been in early education for 2 decades. I've won a National Teacher of the Year award, a Regional Director of the Year award, and have degrees in child development, early education, and behavioral analysis. Now I love teaching philosophy to kids.
Welcome, everyone, to 60 Seconds of Stoicism presents How to Teach Philosophy to Your Kids. There's so many great lessons that we learn as adults from philosophy, but people ask, how can I teach these to my children? So, having been in education for the past couple of decades, I have some thoughts on that and some things that can directly contribute to make your child a better person, not only as they grow up, but currently right now with their friends and neighbors and in the school setting. So, we're going to talk about those today. We cannot start our walk down philosophy without thinking about the Stoics and the dichotomy of control. It is the core belief of Stoicism, self control. So, how do we teach children, even young children, how to have self control? Now, remember, these videos are not just made for parents, they're not just made for teachers, they're made for siblings, aunts, and uncles, anybody that might have children in their life. So, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to practice choice, dichotomy of control. One of the best ways to set up this concept for children, even at a young age, starting at age 1, is by giving clear boundaries followed by choices. So for instance, a bedtime for your child might be 8:30. That is the boundary. The boundary does not change, 8:30. But the choice can change or can be offered in multiple ways. So the child thinks, I can't control that time. I have to go to bed. But what can I control? Well, parents say, we can read a book before bed. Maybe we can sing a song. Maybe we can spend some time snuggling together in bed or playing with your favorite toy. For teachers that are dealing with the same thing, maybe in an early education setting with getting kids to go down for a nap, maybe the choice is you can get your own bed ready, or you can position it in the room where you'd like, or you can pick a certain stuffed animal that you really care about and have that with you during nap time. When we give children choices, we're doing two things. One, we're creating autonomy, which is really good, especially when we're thinking about Stoic philosophy, where it's a lot of self motivation, self preservation, self virtue in that. But we're also giving them a social emotional understanding of there are things that are going to happen that I have no control over, but there are things given to me that I can choose. So let's put that in a real world setting for adults. Kind of take the same concept. We have a curfew that we have to get to, let's say as teenagers or maybe college students for a dorm. Now, I can't change that curfew. I can't really even fudge it in most cases. But what I can do is decide what I want to do to help me meet that curfew. Maybe I'll set my watch. Maybe I'll have a friend call me as a reminder. Maybe I'll just decide to stay in and work on my homework. I have choices. Now, the curfew is never going to change. That's beyond my control, and that's up to the university or high school or parents or whoever it is to set that curfew time. But I have a choice on how I'm going to meet that. We also have to understand that those things aren't done to hurt us, they're actually done to help us. And that's something very important to teach your kids. Everything must be explained to a child. It doesn't matter if they're 2 years old or if they're 18 years old. They just want to know why it's there. Why is the unchangeable thing in my life? Well, for a child, go to bed at 8:30 because you need your rest. When you have more rest, you get to go to school and have fun and learn and play with your friends, and you don't feel tired and sluggish. That's the reason why it's 8:30. Also, sometimes we have to explain to older kids why we're putting certain rules in place. Well, you didn't make my sibling do that, or you didn't make so and so have those same rules as I do. Yes, but this specific rule is for your specific situation, and you can't control it. But I will let you choose how you want to be around it. Dichotomy of control. I can't control the things I can't, but I can control the things I can. That's great. Another way to teach this concept, especially to younger children, is when injuries happen. And they're going to happen. You know that a child who's 1 year old and walking and falls down and bruises their knee or their elbow after first learning how to take their first steps, they have a lot of pain. They go through a lot of hurt. But one thing we can do is validate that they've been hurt, but say, what can I do to help after? Give them a choice. Fell down, I hurt my elbow. Some mothers would say, would you like mommy to kiss it? Or would you like an ice pack? Or would you like an extra hug? And those choices are given. The child starts learning from an early age that I couldn't control that I got hurt, but I can control how I respond to it. And that is the entire point of the dichotomy of control. Also works with older kids as well. Maybe it's a football game that you played in and you did your absolute best, but while you were on the bench, another player from another team fumbled and it ran back for a touchdown. You had no control of that. You were sitting on the bench. But you do have control of what you do next. Are you going to yell, scream, get mad about it? Or are you going to go up to the player that maybe fumbled and say, hey, that was hard, but I know you're a good player. Next time you're going to be even better at it. It's when we model those examples for our children that they start to learn these deep concepts of philosophy. They start to see it. Now, a 2-year-old's probably not going to care about Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, but as they get older, your responsibility as a parent, if you want them to further their deeper understanding of philosophy, is to slowly understand who those characters are and slip them into your daily speak with your child. Dad, I saw you just hit your thumb with a hammer. Why aren't you cursing and yelling and screaming? Well, I learned from Epictetus. There's some things I can control in my life and some things I can't. And even though I did my best to be safe on this, it still slipped off the nail and hit my thumb. But I'm making a choice not to get upset about it. And the children start to make those connections. And eventually will want to know deeper understandings of their own. Perhaps the most important thing when dealing with teaching philosophy, and especially in things like dichotomy of control, is to talk about it. Narrate it as it's happening. Point it out when you see it. Maybe somebody gets splashed by a car that drives by, but instead of the person getting angry, they just look down and wave and say, it's okay. What a great teaching opportunity for dichotomy of control. They couldn't help being splashed, but they could help how they responded afterwards. Tag it, say it, name it, and help your child understand this is how we behave. When they can start pulling that philosophy in their life, even as a young child, they can start to practice it and develop it as a deeper understanding. We're going to do a lot more series on teaching philosophy to kids. There's different ways that we can incorporate these valuable lessons that can help children not only become better for themselves, but become better citizens, kinder, global citizens, better helpers out in the community. So we hope you'll join us next time for our next video. And until then, check out our podcast, 60 Seconds of Stoicism, for more things like this. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time.